Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weekend Rental, episode 109. We are your gaming and geek culture podcast. As always, my name is Ryan, and I'm joined by Andy.
Hey.
And Biff.
Como se llama?
If you enjoy our content, head on over to geekade.com where you're going to find podcasts on video games, movies, music, comics, and so much more. Geekade.com. What's your geek?
Was that Spanish? That was Spanish, right? What did I say?
I thought it was something about cheese.
No. Okay. Not quite what I was going for, but I'll take it.
I've heard como, but I don't know. Is it como estás? Isn't it? I don't know the other thing.
Me. I don't know. That's as much Spanish as I got right now. So
that's a good amount of Spanish.
That's enough for this podcast, right?
I think that qualifies you as bilingual. Especially when you can't identify the language you just spewed out. It's much more reassuring.
Yes.
Oh, so it's been a whole 2 weeks since we recorded an episode.
Yeah.
Did anything happen? Because I feel like we just recorded 2 days ago, and I don't know where things are right now.
Well, in the world of news, not much has happened.
Okay. So
wherever you were.
They found that chick's body, and another guy seems to have disappeared since the last time we recorded. So that's fun.
Gosh.
It's not video game related.
About?
Those van lifer YouTuber people.
Oh, yeah. That's really dark for this podcast.
Well, I wanted to start off upbeat. I have a suspicion they're going to find his body because when he came home and immediately lawyered up, I'm pretty sure his legal counsel was like, here's the deal. You're going to go to prison and get butt raped for the rest of your life, or you can just go into the woods and I don't know, get it over with. So I'm pretty sure that's I suspect that's how this story's ending. So little Pitfall Harry falling on a scorpion out there in the Everglades.
Yikes.
It's sad though. But
yeah.
It'd be cool to watch a YouTube series on somebody who's trying to be missing.
Like faking it?
Right.
Uploading video somewhere?
Yeah, uploading the real thing. I'm missing, but here I am. You can't find me type thing.
Oh.
Because he's pretty much guilty, right? That's what they think.
I mean,
there's a lot that leads to it.
When two people go somewhere, one person comes back and they find a body for the other person immediately just went home and got a lawyer. That's not a good look. You either offed somebody or watched them commit suicide, and either way, you probably should have said something. I don't know. I guess I've never killed anybody in the woods, but I kept telling my wife, I was like, hey, want to get a van? Let's go check out Wyoming.
Oh my gosh.
Heard it's great.
Oh my gosh.
Just you and me. We'll leave the kids at home.
Too soon.
Sorry. Yeah, my thoughts and prayers go out to that family. That sucks, but yeah, it's nuts. It's gross too. It's gross that happens. It's the evils of YouTube. Really.
That's right.
And podcasting.
That's why we just choose to not be so famous on YouTube, so we don't run into those issues.
Well, I checked their YouTube channel. Unless a bunch of stuff got taken down in the last 2 weeks, they only ever got one video posted. And it was a tutorial about how they were going to go on van life. So didn't seem to pan out too well. But yeah.
Okay. High hopes.
We're a gaming podcast still, right?
Let's talk video games and things and stuff.
Do you think they played video games in the van?
I had so many bad jokes just go through my mind, and I was like, no, I'm gonna leave that one alone. It's too soon for that.
Yeah.
Ask me next time, and then I'll say what I was gonna say.
Well, now I'm curious.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. So I do have to share something with you guys. This is so I've been traveling a lot lately and just kind of all over the place. No, not a van, not in Wyoming or anything like that. But I got duped twice traveling. So I wore on off days or times that I was just chilling, like a Mario shirt. You know, that's pretty much my wardrobe, is any video game, whatever. I got it on a t-shirt.
That and assless chaps, right?
Yeah, I typically wear those at the same time.
Yeah.
With my Vans. So very nice.
Nice.
So people notice those things, you know. I'm sure you guys have walked through a store and someone's like, "Oh, Mario, that's really cool." So for some reason, twice people are like, "Oh my gosh, I love to game so much." "Oh yeah, what do you like to play?" And then they proceeded to tell me they play board games, which is, yeah, twice. This is twice. One guy's like, "Yeah, we should really play some games. Let's go over here and play some games." And it was like busting out board games. And I was like, "No, this is video game related." It was really confusing me. And so one time I got stuck playing a board game, and you guys know how much I love playing board games.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. So I don't know where the miss was on that. Do people just lump up gaming with everything?
I think people who really love board games also play video games, so they just assume that everyone else also does too. And I think there's a fair amount of crossover, but yeah, I guess I don't think
there's a crossover at all.
I don't see a Mario shirt and I'm like, "Hey, let's play some Parcheesi." That's not my thing. You
I'm
know?
really feeling Uno.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I have this urge to play Uno.
Which that's like, you think about all the games that have been, you know, all the board games that have been converted to a video game.
Right.
Those are all the board games that the people that really love board games don't want to play, you know?
Right.
They don't like playing Monopoly. They want to play Catan or whatever, you know?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. These games that they were listing off. And again, yeah, like you said, the assumption was there that I love board games because of my Mario shirt. And so the games they're listing off is like, "Have you ever played this?" I was like, "No, I don't really play any board games." "Have you tried this one?" Also never heard of that one. Is that tie-in? Is that Monopoly 2? Is that Monopoly 3? I don't know. Is there even a trilogy of that? No idea. And they just wouldn't take the answer that I don't play board games.
Yeah.
And so they just assume, "But what about this one? This one's more of a dungeon crawler." Nope, never played that one.
Got some Connect 4 over there. I think I played that one.
Guess who?
Yeah. The problem with board games is there are a lot of very good board games out there, but they all take a lot of time to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either sit and gather people close to you and learn together, in which case it typically becomes fun at some point, or you get pulled in with a bunch of people who already know what they're doing and you feel like an a-hole, and that is never fun.
And that's always been my experience.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, he's funny. He's just making jokes." No, literally, I have no idea what's going on.
Well, and then usually
I will not win.
What always bothers me is like when I have like, if I've bought a game that I'm interested in and I've taught myself and my wife to play it, then you do the thing like where you sit down with other people and then they're the people that feel uncomfortable. And like most of the time, in my experience, those people just like throw a fit and like, just like, "No, I don't want to do this anyway." So it's like, that's why I've never bothered. It's just defeating.
So if you wanted to play a board game with me, what game would you pick besides Nude Crisco Twister?
I probably, well, is that a board game? I thought that was just Friday nights.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any board games that I go to. I mean, we've got the closet full of, you know, the typical kids bull crap. I've got like, I don't know, something with a monkey that farts and, you know, Monopoly, and there's nothing highbrow in my closet.
Ugh.
Yeah, we just my sister just had a game night and we played a lot of, you know, the more like fancy adult games that you see in Target and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of adult games?
Yeah. Well, this one was basically like quilting patterns, so it's not that adult that you're thinking of, but
senior is what we're thinking.
Yeah. So it's like one thing to like learn the game and you're like, okay, I got the grasp of the game. But then everybody else has played it so much that they know the exact strategy and the best way to go about things. And you're just like, I don't know, I'll just do this. And then it's like at the end you lose. And it's like, well, okay, I guess I have to play this 20 more times before I actually figure out the way I'd want to play this.
For me, it's just like Farkle and catchphrase. Like everything else can just go to hell. Like those two are fine. Everything else just sucks.
I feel like my biggest pet peeve when it comes to board games is when you sit down to play for the very first time, don't tell me, oh, you'll figure it out.
Right.
Because I won't. I won't figure it out. Or you will through
humiliation and utter defeat.
Right. This is when they like beat up on the freshmen. They're like, yeah, come hang out with us. And I'm just a punching bag. But that drives me insane. You'll figure it out. Nope, I won't. And then they read the instructions and I still, no idea. No idea.
Yeah. If
I like card games though.
Yeah. Some card games are all right.
I learned how to play solitaire last week.
Hey.
Learned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like with physical cards.
Sure, but you're almost 40. You've never experienced this before?
No.
I guess you're not almost 40, but you're approaching.
I'm creeping. Yeah, that was a new experience.
So you've never played like the Windows thing?
Not really. I didn't really understand what I was supposed to do.
Okay.
Do I sound like an idiot?
No, it's just hard to believe because you're like of that age where that was like that or Snake or Snood on a PC. It's amazing.
I don't know what Snood is. I have no idea what Snood is.
Okay.
I'm the guy that was playing Minesweeper and had no idea what I was doing.
I feel like if you know what Minesweeper is, you should have played a fair amount of Solitaire too, but that's...
No, if it was card related, I was not interested.
See, like Free Cell, I don't think I know what I'm doing in that game. So there's some games that you like look at it and you're like, I don't know. I could see if you never learned the actual game of Solitaire, how that would not translate.
It's still a little foreign to me, but I think I got it.
I feel like if you want to put like board gamers in their place, you just learn how to play Choo Choo Rocket really well and then invite 4 people who have never played that game over before. You're like, oh, you'll figure it out. And then just crush them. And that's the video game equivalent of, oh, you'll figure it out with a board game. Deceptively simple, but not really.
What button does this? You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. What's the point? Don't worry about it.
The cats will always go to the right. You'll be fine.
Why are there rockets? You'll figure it out. Figure it out. Yeah, that's funny though. Mario. I guess there are a lot of Mario board games, right? Like there's Mario Monopoly.
I have a ton of them.
Yeah, I do too.
The Mario Kart Monopoly is pretty fun because it's just like
it's fast paced.
Two laps around. Yeah.
Did he freeze up for YouTube, Biff?
Oh, there he is.
Okay, he's back. Maybe.
Yep, I'm here.
Mario Kart Monopoly.
You look like you're on a space station right now.
Technical difficulties.
I have shitty internet.
You're still voice. Okay, so we have voice and Andy.
We have voice.
Oh, and now I don't have Biff either. Biff's back.
Hi.
Oh, they're both back. Huzzah.
Hello.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Wonderful.
Yes, I'm with you, though, with the Mario Monopoly being good, especially with children, because it has a designated end. It's like, all races are done. Like, did you win?
Yeah.
It's so much better than hours wasted on it.
I have never
Monopoly.
played that.
It's fun.
Have you played any, like, regular Monopoly? Like, all the way through? Okay.
Well, I don't make it to the end because I flipped the board by the end. That's why we didn't play games. And growing up, not just me, but the family would just get frustrated. And someone's flipping the board, someone's throwing the thimble at somebody and walking out. And
that's Monopoly. At least, like, you can end it easily by being like, hey, give me $20 and you can have all of my cash and properties. And that person just like ends the game. You know what I mean? So,
but you can't do that if you have one person playing extremely serious and they're like, not the rules. Nobody knows the rules to Monopoly.
Yeah,
everyone has house rules.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't do it. I can't do that.
Did you guys ever get the CD game, the PC games in like cereal?
I remember getting them, never played them though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple.
Those were like awful. It was just basically like, let's make this game 10 times longer by adding stupid animations to it, you know?
I think that's going to be my next collection. It's just cereal box PC games.
Mm-hmm. Just get every collection. AOL disc too.
Yeah, that's what I want to collect for.
I had a girlfriend's sister in high school who would just like grab handfuls of those discs at Walmart every time, and she just finally like decorated her entire room in them, like the reflective side out, like ceiling walls. Yeah. It's kind of impressive. Yeah.
And then you put a bright light in there, and everybody goes blind.
Yep. Or they get unlimited minutes of AOL, one of the two.
Or starting a fire. Yeah. She burnt her house down with CDs.
Do you guys have video of me at all? I have no video of you guys.
I have video of you.
I see you.
Yeah, I don't see either of you.
You're
talking circles. So
you look delicious.
That's what I was going for. Rolled around in chocolate before I got on.
That was your weekend.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Just rent a chocolate fountain for a weekend. That'd be sweet.
I just watched. Do you guys ever watch Cold Ones?
No.
So they did an episode on like where they bought a chocolate fountain, and then they're just like, "Will it chocolate fountain?" They put in like mayonnaise, and then they were putting like toothpaste. It was a train wreck of a video, but it got pretty funny. It's good stuff.
Was there any surprises?
No, it was just two guys getting progressively drunker and like throwing shit into a chocolate fountain. So you can imagine where that went. It worked okay for a 10-minute video.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I got one thing I can talk about that's sort of video game related. So when we were gone this last 3 days, my wife and I, for our anniversary trip, I went into a small town Goodwill, and they had video games in there.
What kind?
The video games, checkers, solitaire, that stuff. No, they had, so the tiny store, tiny town, with just one pile of games. It was like a PlayStation original system they wanted $50 for, but they had a big stack of games. Well, not big, like they had a stack like 10 games. Everything was like flat price, $2.99. All of them were worth the $2.99. Like they were all like good titles, but there was like stuff like Tekken 2 and like Jet Moto 2 and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, that's worth picking up if I wanted that. But then there were a couple of decent gems in there that I ended up walking out with. So I got Heart of Darkness, which is kind of a failed game, but it was like a big deal when it was coming out because it was like in development for so long. So I got that. Both discs were in there. No manual, but not a huge deal. I think that goes for like loose $25. So that was a good buy.
Yeah.
And then I got a really minty copy of Point Blank, which you just never see. And that's not worth a ton, but it's worth like, I don't know, $10, $11. I don't have the gun, but I bought that one. So I was like, those two are worth saving from this small town hellhole. But it was kind of cool to see.
Yeah. It's too bad that they didn't have the gun there then too.
I know. If I'd had the gun, that'd have been amazing, but nothing. So about those, that was the thing I did with video games.
So you're saying Goodwill still have games somewhere?
Yes, in incredibly small towns.
So small town actually had like the Goodwill.
Yeah.
Or was it like an off-brand?
But this is like, something? But this is like north of Minneapolis, like Brainerd, like Walker areas where like, Baxter is a town of 7,000 people, has a Target, a Best Buy. Like it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So
sure.
It's just $1 million lake homes up and down as far as you can see. So chain things come into play there. So yeah, it was a legit branded Goodwill. It was closed Monday and Sunday, which I think normally they're closed on Sunday, but usually Monday, not so much, but yeah. So I popped in, and there was one other thrift store in town that was just like a mom and pop thing that had no games at all. But I don't know.
So did you sell those games already?
No, I brought them back. They're up for trade or sell for, that's what they're for. I'm not keeping them. They're not going into my collection. I am curious on Heart of Darkness, but I can also just play an ISO of that. So
Yeah.
I heard it's not a great game, but I know it was like a big ambitious thing when it was, when it was in the works, like that got talked about for years, and then it kind of fell flat when it came out. Either of you? Oh, I know Biff hasn't played it, but have you played it at all, Andy?
I don't think so.
Thanks for putting me in a box.
Well, you're not a PlayStation guy.
Maybe I have become one. I've never played it.
I've definitely had it before, but I don't think I've ever popped it in.
Yeah, I want to say it's sort of like an Abe's Odyssey sort of game where it's more of like a screen-by-screen adventure and like hand-drawn animation, like learning cause and effect sort of stuff. But yeah, that's about all I know about it. And that it was in development for a long time and people were very excited about it. But
which back then, a long time was probably like 3 years.
Yeah, like 2 years probably. Yeah, but I don't know. It was still cool. It was still cool to walk into a Goodwill and be like, oh, you can, like, I mean, I could have legitimately spent, another $20 and walked out with a nice stack of all good games like Jet Moto 2, Frogger 2. What else was there? A couple Army Men games back when those were good. Some other stuff. Nothing RPG or anything like crazy, but all stuff you would have had back in the day. And one Madden game.
What'd they do with Frogger too? Like just nicer Frogger? Just
more Frogger. Yeah. It was just that whole like 3D Frogger, but more, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember anyone caring about that one. Like I remember the first reboot of Frogger was like, this is going to be the best. And it was like, okay, this is functional. But,
yeah. They sold a lot of them, I think, because there's a lot of them out there. But
I know the second one was on Dreamcast, so it tells you about like how much longer that was available. I think it was on Dreamcast. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel pretty sure it is though. So
that probably still holds the record for the longest distance to put it number 2 on the original game.
Think so? Yeah, that's true. A traditional 2. Yeah. Let me see if Frogger 2 is on Dreamcast. Well, it's interesting too because isn't the very last official release for the Sega Genesis just a ROM dump of Frogger on cartridge?
Yeah, I think so.
Which is amazing. When you think about what year that came out.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yep, it did come out for Dreamcast. Yep.
Huh. Wow.
So good stuff. Yeah, that was about it. I haven't played any games because that's what we did. My wife and I, we were gone Sunday through. I just got home today and lake cabin on a peninsula, water both sides, kayaked, hiked.
Did you bring the kids?
Yeah, I wanted to have fun, so no. I'm just kidding. They had school, so my mom was nice enough to watch her kids for a few days. So
nice.
They were in school and got up early on. Was it Tuesday morning and kayaked, like early morning kayak. And it was cool. We came across a family of 4 otters, which you don't see in North Dakota at all. And you don't see them that much in Minnesota, really. I mean, more, but never been that close to a group of them out in the water before. They were like 20 feet away. They're very curious about us.
Did you kill them and steal their pelts?
No, I was making like weird noises. I was making weird noises to get their attention. And then they just like do like the whack-a-mole thing where they like pop out of the water and like look at you and like jump back down. And yeah, it was pretty neat. Pretty neat. So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Nature and shit. That's what we did.
That's neat.
Hit a few breweries. It was good. I don't drink much beer anymore, and I don't go to too many breweries, so got to stop at a couple new ones. It's all right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
love it.
I've been playing a lot of games actually.
All right.
Yeah.
You're saving the podcast.
Go on.
Yeah. So Game Pass has been adding games like crazy again.
I saw that.
And what I love about it is it's like they're just adding like these 3 or 4 hour games. So it's just like you finish them in 2 or 3 sittings and you're done. It's like perfect.
It is perfect.
So a couple of them
what games could these possibly be?
They are, I mean, the first one I probably played it's called the Artful Escape.
Okay.
And it's barely a game. It's like probably the most basic platformer that you could possibly imagine. And then the boss battles are basically just a game of Simon. But what you're looking at the whole time is really cool to see. And I mean, it's kind of like, so you're the nephew of basically Bob Dylan, and you're expected to be just as good as Bob Dylan.
Naturally.
But, yeah, you don't want to be that. You kind of want to be your own thing. So what you end up being is like creating your own persona, kind of like a David Bowie style. And you actually go to space and you go to all these planets, just like basically real David Bowie songs. And that's kind of the game. You're just shredding guitar while you're platforming the whole game.
Are you friends with Elon Musk? Is he your other uncle? What's the deal? How do you get to space? I don't understand.
You're just too good.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I would say it's barely a game, but
it's an experience, which is sometimes just as fun.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's pretty short, 3 or 4 hours maybe.
Okay.
And then the next one I played after that was Subliminal, it's called. It's kind of like a Portal, I would say. But instead of Portal, it's using objects in perspective. So you can grab like a chess. It starts out where you grab a chess piece. And if you turn around and just put the chess piece, like the view on the other side of the room, it becomes like a 10-foot tall chess piece. So it's a lot of puzzles like that where you're changing sizes of different things and ripping stuff off. And by the time you get to the end, it just turns into, it just breaks your brain as far as like what you're looking at. It's pretty nuts. And that one's only a couple hours long too.
Okay.
But it definitely has like a Portal vibe to it where they don't want you to escape, but you're doing puzzles to escape. And then the last one I barely played because I was really disappointed in it. I saw this like on an Xbox thing a long time ago. It's called Skatebird.
I didn't realize it was coming to Xbox. I thought it was only on Switch.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was on Switch that they announced that. Maybe. Yeah. But it is on Game Pass.
Okay. Good, because I was almost going to buy it to experience it on Switch, but I don't have to.
No, just...
I heard it was not good.
Yeah, the camera is awful. Like, you get into a corner and you can't see shit. And it's like the original Tony Hawk's had some of that issue, but not even close to how bad this was. And the controls are just not as tight as a Tony Hawk, even though they're definitely trying to be a Tony Hawk game. And
I saw a clip from one of the reviews where like they were showing how janky like the physics were, and it was like the bird lodged the skateboard on a rail like mounted to the wall, and like the board just locked in, and like that was it. Like there was no escaping it. You're just like stuck on the wall unless you restart the game. And I was like, well, that's kind of effed up. Like put a reset button in if you know that that's going to be a problem, because this game's already been delayed once, so clearly they had issues. But
yeah. Plus, like the ollie system is like you can flap your wings if you're on flat ground, but it doesn't really work very well. You would think then if you ollie up a ramp, you should be able to fly higher. But instead, what you're doing is you're going vertical and then you're flapping. So what you're doing is you're just pulling horizontally away from the ramp instead of going actually higher, you know? Nice. So it's not great, but
well, that's too bad. I was hoping it would at least be an enjoyable dumb game, but it sucks that it's not. I still feel like I need to try it though.
There's one bird called Tiny Hawk.
Tiny Hawk, nice.
Yep. A little hawk on a skateboard.
Be better if it was like a cockatoo and it was called Tiny Cock. Or Tony Cock.
Tony Cock.
Because he's a cockatiel. It's not perverted at all. That's funny. I got home and my son was like really wanting to skateboard today, so I was trying to teach him how to ollie, like trying to explain the motion flow that your body needs to do to like a 7-year-old. Just watching him do it, he's like, I can't. I don't get it. I'm like, yeah, bud. Like it's gonna. Trust me, we're not gonna figure this out in the next 15 minutes. So it was fun.
I couldn't do that when I was 17, barely. So
Yeah. Yeah. I showed up that one, and then we just progressed to like, let me show you how to like do a proper kick turn so you can actually turn around in our driveway. Cause he would do like the like pie thing where you like chop the board over.
Yeah.
So, but then like I could get him to understand the movement that his legs needed to make the board turn, but he kept failing to understand the like how your body needs to follow through with the direction change. So he'd be like turning his board and like flying into the garage. I'm like, gotta work on this, bud.
So my son is trying skateboarding as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we got to get the kids together.
Yeah. But my son does want to go to the skate park.
You know how kids are, especially that age, where anything that they try, they're professionals at it. And they will tell you how professional they are. Even if they've never even played a sport, they're like, yeah, I'm really good at that. Oh, okay. Sounds good. So he has been on his skateboard, and he's like, Dad, I just want to let you know I'm pretty much going pro right now. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, look how I turn. And he's doing the pie thing. And he's like, this is what the pros do. And I was like, no, they don't. And he's like, it's a pretty tough trick. No, it's not. And it's not. And he's so convinced. Like, I try to stay so patient, but he argues so much. Like, no, this is the pro move, Dad.
It's like, you'd love the conversation I had with my son tonight too. He's like trying to do the turns. He's doing like the crappy like chop turns. And then I was like, you know what might help, son? Maybe if you didn't have Crocs on. He's like, no, people wear Crocs and skateboard. I'm like, do they? Have you seen a lot of professional skateboarders on the internet with Crocs on? He's like, okay. And then he just like walks in the house and comes back out with Nikes on. I was like, well, at least we're making some progress here.
That's nice. My son would have argued that until the end. He'd be like, no, they do. I've seen it. Do you think Tony Cock has that?
Yes. He's got his pro Croc line. It's the cock line.
His cock line.
If Crocs came in and really wanted to be like a big name sponsor, do you think they could make that happen with somebody?
That'd be so funny.
Oh, I'm sure. You throw enough money at somebody, they'll rep it, right?
They're gonna look like a pair of Vans, like, but just with holes. I want to Swiss cheese.
I want to see him like kick him off mid-flight.
That'd be like a Superman with a Croc trick. Yes, exactly. Like shoe variations in your like late flips. It'd be great.
Would you say that skateboarding is still big? Not like when Tony Hawk, I mean, he brought it to a level that was out of control for a short amount of time. I mean, so is it still there?
It ebbs and flows. Like skateboarding tends to go in like a 10-year cycle. I'd say we're in like an ebb right now. Like, because the industry is kind of falling apart, like the traditional industry. So a lot of the big money makers now rely on the YouTube, like people and like pro companies and board companies that are like, so there's like this whole, like there's factions right now. Like there's still Birdhouse. There's still some of the main companies like Element, but then there's also Braille, which is like the biggest skateboarding channel on the planet. And there's also Revive, and those people have like made their way huge in the industry and generate tons of revenue, but they're not considered professionals or real companies according to like the gatekeepers. So skateboarding's in a weird spot. I'd say it's still like prominent, but it's much more fringe. I mean, the fact that it made it to the Olympics this year kind of surprised me. That probably was mostly just off of the success of Skate League. But Skate League is like super divisive also in the world of skateboarding, because that's not, I don't know, that's not what skateboarding is, I guess. Like,
right.
So I don't know. I think skateboarding is still like arm's length.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like half the people that probably would have got into it back in the day instead went into longboards now, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like it's different than, like when we were kids, people were doing technical stuff. But now people are doing like, you know, fucking heel flips off stairs with like a late 3 flip out. Like the amount of skill that it takes to actually be professional now, and like the amount of coordination and like limb movement is mind blowing. Like skateboarding, the technicalities progress to a point that like I don't even comprehend. Like it's nuts. I don't know.
I can't remember if you sent me a YouTube video forever ago. Do you remember the soap shoes?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched a video of like the guy that was still sponsored.
Soaper?
Yeah, the professional soaper. I don't know if you sent that to me, but I
was it Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, it's like Jason Jimenez or something. Like, what the hell is this guy's name? It came to my mind,
and just right like when it was big and it died the next day, you know?
Yes.
And he was like sponsored and it was all big, and now he's got nothing.
Jimenez. Yeah, they did a documentary. Well, it's hilarious too because he tells a story, and you can tell that this guy's just like a real like bro dude, like moron. He's like, yeah, I was sponsored by soap, but they wouldn't give me a pro model, so I sent out a email like talking about what a whack ass joke of a company it was. But what happened, you see, is I accidentally hit reply all. So he sent it all out to the company instead of like his buddy he was trying to. And he was using their email server, and because he worked for the company, and then got himself fired. So he ended his own pro soap career. And then in part of the documentary,
he's still running around California just doing it by himself.
Yep, and he's like overweight and like 40.
Yeah.
And then he's like showing off his tattoo where he had like the soap logo tattooed on his arm, and he's like, and then he's like, I don't have money to like get him removed, so I Googled it, and it said you can like burn it off with a spoon. So that's what I did. I'm like, holy crap, you are an idiot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it? I think it was Sonic Adventure that they made a big deal about that.
That the sponsorship.
Sonic was wearing. Yeah, he was wearing soap shoes.
Yep. Yeah, soap shoes.
That lasted a whole 3 months.
Yeah, Heelys lasted longer than soap shoes. And that's saying something. Which I should send you that clip. You guys ever seen Heely Cops?
No.
Oh my God. I'm going to send you that, Jim. Heely Cops. It's so good.
So did you ever want a pair of soaps?
No.
Be honest.
As a young man, the idea of like jumping up on handrails and crotching myself was terrifying. Mm-hmm. So the answer to that is no. I never wanted to jump up on a rail.
Even skateboarding, if the rail was taller than my waist, yes. I'm not doing anything with it.
If I couldn't slap my board onto the rail from the ground, I wasn't trying it, because there's a million ways that goes wrong.
You guys are logical thinkers. That's good.
I remember once, like after I got pretty good at skateboarding, like I never did a lot of rails. I just remember going to the skate park and they had like a handrail, like a foot off the ground, and I was like super confident. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna 50-50 that thing. Jumped up and immediately kicked the board out and like just laid myself out and caught it right in the spine. I was like, I'm never doing a rail again. Like, done.
Nope. Did you ever do it on a snowboard?
Yeah. Also, did not like that. I did one in Montana one time on they used to call them Bronto rails, where it's like, a handrail, but it's like 6 foot up. And I was like, I got this. And I went and hit that as fast as I could. Kick the board out again too. Yeah. And I managed to like in the heat of the moment, like land on my ass and catch the bar, like still hold myself up. But yeah, that was the end of that for me.
That's the only time I ever felt safe.
On a rail?
Was having a board strapped to my feet. So I knew it wasn't going in between my legs.
Yeah, but there's still a million ways that goes bad. And like, all you need is one good scare. And I was like, nope, that's not for me.
No, I'm going to just cruise down the mountain.
Especially after I broke my arm snowboarding off that little jump that time. I was like, man, I used to go off of like 10-foot tall jumps. And I was like 25 feet in the air. I'm like, I'm never doing that again. Like, I could have died.
It's good that you think realistically.
Yeah, a little too late. Yeah, 2-foot jump, surgery on arm. 10-foot jump, dead. That was my logic, and that's kind of where it stuck after that.
I'm gonna have to go on eBay and see if I can buy a pair of soaps.
I'm sure you can. There's probably
that's the whole reason why we. That's the whole reason why we probably couldn't have flat rails, right? Because some dumbass had soap shoes.
Right,
it wouldn't work.
Right, you gotta have the round rails to lock in properly.
Yeah,
they're expensive.
There's gotta be some asshole on Etsy who like 3D prints like inserts for like Nikes that you can just put in.
Oh my gosh!
It's probably like a boutique business.
Sonic the Hedgehog black and white ones are $800.
That is $801 too much. I think they should be giving them to you.
They're between $200 and $400.
Oh man. Yeah, you could just glue a platform on the bottom of your shoes and go.
You could just
like a wood plank.
You could just sawzall the blades off the bottom of some roller blades and just like run. Just take ski boots. They're already hard and plastic. Just do that.
That's awesome. What's up, bro? And like you're like stiff legged across.
Somebody needs to do this now.
Man. That is hilarious. I think the roller shoes have lasted a lot longer than the soap shoes.
Yeah.
I think you can still buy Heelys if you really look hard enough.
I think so. I actually saw not too long ago, like last week, about this like startup, and what the startup does is they just like make specialty inserts that are compatible with like most shoe brands like Nike and Adidas. And you can either buy the shoes prefabricated or you can get yours modified if you send them in. But they basically like take them, insert like a locking plate in the middle of the shoe, almost like a Heely, but then it's got detachable 4-wheel roller skates that you can just like pop onto your normal tennis shoes and just like click out and walk away. Yeah.
Is that considered fruit booting?
I mean, I don't know if that term's acceptable anymore, but yes. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
100%.
Didn't mean to bring that up.
I was just watching there's a Tosh.0 where he like does like a web redemption with the skateboarder. He's like, do you ever hang out with rollerblade? He's like, no, I don't fruit boot. And he's like, what did you call it? He's like, I'm keeping that. Oh man. How did we get down this rabbit hole? Oh, Skatebird. Full circle.
Skatebird, yeah.
Full circle.
Shitty game, but
Tony Cock.
Yeah. Aircocks. Get yours today. He put his blood into a skateboard. Do you guys see that?
What?
Yeah, like
but like he didn't think it was supposed to be that way or something.
Right. It was like a collaboration with like that Liquid Death company that just sells like it's literally canned water, but they call it Liquid Death, I think. It's for like extreme athletes. It's the monster of water. But yeah, they like took his blood and put it into like red paint and then made 300 skateboard decks with it and then sold them all really fast.
That's disturbing.
And probably not healthy.
No, not healthy.
A lot of kids got the Rona through those decks. That's what happened.
Yeah. Or Hep or the HIV or any of those.
Bird flu, all of them. It's not
good.
As you do at a skate park.
Yeah.
I was watching Island Park skate park that is kind of downtown Fargo-ish. I was this was quite a few weeks ago, but it's just funny to see that demographic now. It's just such a weird group. There's a whole bunch of kids on scooters everywhere.
They're not welcome at any
the Razor scooters
ever. Can I just say
are
that?
Everywhere.
Right, and they're the bane of everyone's existence.
And I was seeing zero tricks. A lot of people just standing around holding boards and holding Razor scooters, but nobody was doing anything.
Because the Razor scooter kids usually get in the way once the skateboarders start moving. So they're waiting for the skateboarder to start moving.
And it's not worth skating if there's a bunch of scooter kids, because then the Karens come out and get mad at the skaters for skating in the skate park that's meant for them. I mean, there's always a fair amount of kids standing around with a skateboard at a skate park, but
not skating.
Right. I've wanted to skate that park so bad for as long as I've lived in Fargo. And I just I'm old, right? The best I can do is roll around and hit some transition. And I want to go so bad because that park looks awesome. But I'm just there's never a time that nobody's there. So I just don't do it.
You got to go during the school day.
It doesn't matter. Every time I've gone by.
Really?
Yeah. So usually what I'll do is I'll get up early on Saturdays if I want to skateboard a skate park, and then I go out to that one out in West Fargo because I got a half pipe or a mini ramp.
Oh, the Lindenwood or Edgewood or whatever it is.
Whatever it is by
West Fargo.
Yeah, City Lights or whatever that thing is out there now. The Lights. Yeah. So yeah.
The Lights.
It looks cool. But I'm too embarrassed.
There's one if you go down 13th Avenue all the way west. That one's very quiet.
Oh, the red one way out of town. No, that thing's a piece of crap. I'm not skating that.
Okay, well, beggars can't be choosers at this point.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
Either grow a pair and you get down to Island Park,
or
you just
I think I'm at the point where
walk
I'd
around with
just
your soaps.
Build my own quarter pipe in my backyard or something.
Do that
and soap on that.
Soap on.
But realistically, like I get on a skateboard like once a year, and then I'm like, I am almost 40 and I have to pay for the medical expenses. And also typing with a broken wrist seems very hard. I'm just going to step off and we'll just come back, revisit this in another year. But
that's why I'm surprised that you want to do it when nobody else is around, because I need somebody to call the ambulance.
Yeah, we have cell phones now, at least. I can.
I think soaping on a half pipe would be hilarious.
Just run up and
like you just like running, and then get on the slide and then run. Like it to me, I think that would just look hilarious.
Do you suppose like the guy who invented the soap shoes was just like, I got this brilliant idea, and he like just walked out of high school, and there's like the group of chicks. He's like, hey ladies, he just stands there awkwardly, and then he just like bolts for a rail and like slides down it and walks away, like doesn't look back. He's like, yeah.
He's glued his Irish spring bar to the bottom.
Well, you probably watched all those 80s movies where the guy like slid down the rail on his ass, you know, and it's how cool that was. Like, what if you just...
Dude, that's true. That's the origins of the soap shoe.
What if you could just stand and do it?
What if we made soap pants?
I like it.
Where there's like a little indentation and you just like jump on it.
You do like a hard plate and like the indentation is between the cheeks. So you just like up, run down, like crack slide a whole rail. Like, this is great.
There's like some guy just running and then straddles the bar. It would be so hilarious.
Oh God, it would look so amazing. But and then you could put like a handle that comes out the front. Like, and then it has like handlebars, so you're just like riding this down the rail.
Everyone's like, "Oh no, he's good. He's good." So pants.
That'd make a great video seeing everybody's reaction to that.
Like, "Oh, his balls. No, he's good."
That would be good. Oh shit!
That would be impressive for the ladies. Wow, look at him.
His genes need to be carried forward. Let's get on that immediately.
Was that a 180 crotch ride that he did there with the 50-50 split? Wow.
Yeah.
It depends. The trick, you have to have a nut on each side.
Yeah, that's the thing is like depending on where your nuts lie in the sack on either side of the rail is like how it's the variation of the grind, right? It's either 50-50 or you got like the south side or up west.
Is he goofy? Is he riding goofy?
Shit, I did a nollie on that one.
Oh God.
Oh man, I wish we could see something like this.
This needs to happen.
It's sick.
I could 3D print that. I don't know how you attach it to your ass,
who are we going to get to prototype it? Because I don't want to be the guy who tests it out the first time. It would end in a broken tailbone and 2 shattered testicles. And I'd probably
be even worse.
Oh man,
like somebody so just funny. Like slowly trying to do it, like getting up on a rail and just going down.
Yeah, like those skateboarders where sometimes the people like hold them on the rail to get them started. Just like you're sitting there and 2 friends are like balancing you on this rail. Wouldn't be awkward at all.
So how does that work with like soap pants and a half pipe? Like you run and then you squat down, run, squat down,
like sacking yourself on each side. I love it.
Oh wow, we went down the rabbit hole, boys. Oh
we
my
invented
gosh,
a product that needs to happen.
Yeah,
somebody throw some money at this.
Let's put a commercial together and upload it. Soap pants.
There probably have to be shorts that basically almost go to your socks, right? That would be the target market for soap.
It could be essentially a Velcro thong, plastic thong.
Oh yeah,
you put in
strap on.
I don't know if I'm going to be putting my balls and ass crack on the line. I need something better than Velcro down there. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah,
I'm not
quite a gamble.
It.
Yeah, if you have a malfunction, it's bad.
This needs to be.
We
like
start with 3M strips and work our way up. Gotta keep the cost down.
It's just Gorilla duct tape around your thighs. You can tell everybody who soap pants is because they have like this ring around their upper thigh that's just hairless from where you adhere it each time.
Then you got to explain to all the other people as you just walk around your day while you have half a pipe glued to your ass.
I think we could just put a compilation together, like a video of Like guys just racking the rail and be like, so far, so far.
I mean, I feel like it'd be pretty easy to prototype, right? It's just literally like strapping a grain shovel to your ass. I feel like it's kind of what we're going for here.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little more cumbersome than I was hoping for.
Yeah, well, you got to start somewhere, function over form.
And you have to wear jeans over it, though.
Over it?
Because then it creates the illusion
I think the denim might slow your grind down, though.
Right.
Could be a problem.
Because the soap shoes were meant to just be walking around, and if you just want to run and go for it, then go for it. So you got to have pants that are ready to go for it.
That's true.
This was good, guys. I love that. That was weird.
All right. On the other side of the soap epiphany, anything else gaming related happen? I'm going to go on record here and saying, like, the last 20 minutes of this podcast might be my favorite rabbit hole that we've ever gone down.
It is so funny.
I don't know what we're doing as a show anymore, but I loved that.
No, but my eyes are watering.
My
like
ass
crazy
is
on
chapped.
Oh, yeah. Soap. Oh, man.
Fuck.
That's good. No, I feel like I just haven't had time for gaming at all.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. It's been...
I like the idea of it.
Busy. Yeah, well, I'm realizing too that there just haven't been any games that have like jumped out at me. Like I want to play WarioWare, but I feel like I'm going to wait until I can get WarioWare on Black Friday sale or just go to Walmart for whatever reason because that game's already like $39 at Walmart, which how is Walmart selling games at like full $10 off right away when it's a $50 game? I don't get it. That's been the other thing that's like sort of piqued my interest. And I got a guy at work who always reminds me that Diablo 2 is coming out, but I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't know if I
have a question
right
on that.
Yeah?
I have a question on Diablo.
Uh-huh.
Love it. It's great.
Well, you
so
love
Diablo,
Satan. We've established this, yes.
Okay.
The game.
Diablo. So Diablo 2. Is it a new game? Is it a reboot?
No.
What is it?
It's a reboot of the second one with this sort of like, I think they've inherited, like used some of the 3 pieces, right? Like the camera angle and stuff. But I don't think they've removed the core elements of 2, right? Is that kind of my understanding? Like a lot of the like systems and things that were in play are still in play here. Is kind of what I've picked up on.
Yeah, I guess I haven't dug into the minutia on what they're changing. I'm guessing they're adding like the more consoleized stuff to it. Are they? Because it is a console version too, or no?
Yeah, it's coming to everything. But I mean, I think that game, like I could be wrong, but from what I remember, wasn't 2 just like a solo game in the main story? Or did they eventually add co-op to that? I know there was co-op elements, but could you do the whole story co-op?
No, I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And that's just confusing for me. So I'm, again, new to the whole Diablo gaming stuff.
Yeah.
And so I have 3. That's what I played.
3 is a much different beast.
And so I'm like, well,
is
2, do they like go, like, are they going down in numbers? Like, play Diablo 2, play Diablo 1. Like, I'm really confused.
It's still based off the game that came out in like 2001. So,
will we ever see a brand new Diablo, you think?
Yeah, they've already announced 4, man. It's coming out. I don't know. They've been talking about it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's happening.
That phone thing ever come out?
No, I think it got delayed too. Plus Blizzard right
that's
now.
Gonna be good.
The pandemic plus Blizzard Activision, that whole thing is like, it's a little dicey on wanting to give them money for anything and then how that's impacting development as a result. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I'll give them money.
You'll give them the what for it? Well, I did have, if nobody else has news, somebody had a request for a quiz last time.
Shebang.
I got something in the mail and I was like, perfect quiz.
All right. Is it the Friends card game?
No.
I'm just joking. I don't know anything about Friends.
We're going to go through Tinder. We're going to swipe left or swipe right.
Oh, fun.
No. So I got a book in the mail.
Is that like Twitter?
Yes. But grosser. maybe not. Actually, Twitter's kind of gross. I got a book in the mail that I was excited about, and I ordered a long time ago, which they said was already in production and done. So it kind of pissed me off that it took 2 months to show up. But anyway, that's a limited run for you. I got The Virtual Boy Works from Jeremy Parrish, and it's the all-encompassing Virtual Boy book.
So it's a small book.
It's a pamphlet. Yeah.
It comes with 3D glasses.
It's a fold-out 3-pager.
The nice thing with this one was like, okay, it's one and done, right? Like I buy it and like comes with 3D glasses.
Oh, that's cool.
Covers all the games. So I figured we'd do a little bit of a rundown here.
Oh, I don't know the Virtual Boy at all.
Nobody cares. So we're just going to do some questions. One of them that I want to ask, I'm only like fairly confident on. So I'm just going to see if I can find the answer to it to reaffirm before we continue on.
It's red.
That's not what I was looking for. I was looking.
Oh, thought you wanted to know what color it was.
No, looking for launch year. I think I know what it is, but okay.
Don't you dare do any typing, Andy.
So yeah, no typing. What year in the U.S. did the almighty Virtual Boy from Nintendo launch?
91.
I'll say 95.
Okay, so Japanese launch was 95.
Oh.
And then US was 96.
91.
96. Oh. Keep in mind, Biff, that this was out about the same time as the Ultra 64. So that drew a lot of attention away from.
Roger that.
Yes. Who was the creator of the Virtual Boy? Largely responsible.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Gunpei Yokai?
Yes, and also Shakira is a musical artist. I think you're confusing. I kind of want to see that meme now, but yes.
Shakira Miyamoto.
Shakira, he's big in Japan. I love it.
She's big in Japan.
Yes, that was correct.
His mustache don't lie.
Who was right? Who was right?
Gunpei Yokoi, of course. It was, he's the creator of the Game Boy. Game & Watch
Reggie.
legend. He was ousted from Nintendo kind of after the failure of.
Well, the rumor was that he wasn't really ousted, right? He like basically they put him in a closet and be like, don't do anything.
Yeah. So there's this thing in like Japanese culture where if you bring shame upon your company, like they won't outright like can you, but yeah, they stick you in a corner and like you're relegated to spend the rest of your miserable existence unhappy and unrewarded. And so that allegedly that's what happened. He did leave, of course, Nintendo and make the Wonder Swan and then died before that came out. But yes, he was hoping to strike lightning twice. And limited technology, but a successful platform. It didn't quite work. But I think there's been a lot of speculation that the Virtual Boy was rushed and he had cautioned against it. So Andy's got one. How many titles in the US? How many games in total came out for the Virtual Boy?
19.
26.
Oh, wow. You guys give far too much credit. It's 14 US releases.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That was my second guess.
Yes. What was the pack-in title for the Virtual Boy?
Telerobot? Shoot. What is it? Telerobot? Roblox?
The tennis one.
It was in fact the tennis one, yes.
I hate you, Andy.
So Andy's got 3, 2, 2.
I never liked you.
No, that one. So the Virtual Boy has the link cable so that you could essentially at some point do 2-player gaming. How many US Virtual Boy games have 2-player?
I'm going to say 3.
I'll say Tetris. That's it.
All right. The answer is 0. That was a trick question, but
yeah. I was going to say I didn't know of any link cable.
Yeah. I don't think it actually maybe made it to. I don't know if it actually made it to market.
I like to play 2-player Virtual Boy with no link cable.
Yeah, one eye. You just put an eye up there. It's been tough during COVID, but
yeah,
6 feet apart.
It has been.
It's like a periscope.
That's hot.
Yes.
Yeah, me and my wife. I'm like, hey, you want to play Virtual Boy?
Giggity. What's that one called? Nestor's Funky Boning.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah. Or Vertical Force. No, I'm just kidding. That's an actual game. Dual meaning. Okay. So I've named off a few. So we've talked about tennis. I just said Vertical Force. Obviously we mentioned there's a Tetris. You guys get a point for every other game you can name that came out for that system. I'll start with Biff.
Well, there's Wario Land.
Okay. Yep. You get a point. Andy.
Mario Clash.
Yep. Point. So
I forgot about
3-1.
Telerobots.
We already talked about that one, didn't we?
Dang it. Well, you never confirmed or denied it.
Okay, I'll give it a point. So it's 2-3.
Yeah.
Waterworld.
Oh, yes. 2-4.
I'm going to say Gary Kitchen's Battle Tank.
It's an interesting guess, but no, that would have been good.
3D Tetris.
Yep, already mentioned that one though.
Yeah.
I mean,
is there a Yoshi game on there?
Wait your turn.
Oh, sorry.
Jack Bros.
Oh, good. Yeah, Deep Cut Jack Bros. That's the one everybody wants. Also a game that Biff could play with his wife.
Good one.
Giggity.
Did we name all of them?
No, you guys are kind of missing like an obvious genre of game that might be good to dive into.
There's a Mario, right?
Yeah, we've talked about both those.
The
tennis
Mario
and the Clash and the Wario, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's a pinball, right?
Really? Oh yes.
There's a pinball.
Yes.
I don't know what you're at now. 5, 6.
Is it called the name Pinbot? Pinbot?
Galactic Pinball.
Yeah, that's my second guess.
What about sports games, guys? I'll give you.
Well, you already said the bowling one.
Mm-hmm.
We already said tennis.
Mm-hmm.
There must be a football game.
No, remember football was not popular back in 1996. There was another sport that Americans were obsessed with.
Baseball.
Yes. Virtual League Baseball.
Oh.
And there's also another sport that's on everything for all time.
Basketball.
It's just simply named on the Virtual Boy.
Darts.
FIFA.
It uses a stick and a ball.
Lacrosse.
A club. Golf is what I was going for. It's just called golf. So yeah, the library in the US is Mario's Tennis.
Was that a sequel to NES Golf?
No.
Was it the same game, just red?
Nah, it looks like just garbage golf. I'd have to look at it. So yeah, the full list was Mario's Tennis, Galactic Pinball, Telltale Boxer, Red Alarm, which you guys did not mention. That was kind of early on.
Oh yeah.
Virtual League Baseball, Mario Clash, Jack Bros Golf, Panic Bomber was the other one we missed.
Oh yeah.
Vertical Force, Wario Land, Waterworld, Nestor's Funky Bowling, and 3D Tetris. So
I'm up right now, right?
No. Good try though.
Okay.
I'm the only one who doesn't own a Virtual Boy.
Here's the tiebreaker. Actually, not even a tiebreaker because
was it a tiebreaker?
Andy just crushed you, but
I'll take a tiebreaker. You said it.
For a bonus
you
point,
spoke it into existence.
To still lose, Biff can get this. But how many of the 14 games does Ryan have in his collection?
Ryan's got 8 games.
I'll say 3.
Jeez, Andy. You know, low ball a guy. I got 9. I got 9 of them.
Oh, really? Wow.
I'm missing.
So that was winner take all,
sure,
right?
You can have it. Yep.
Sorry,
I'm missing
Andy.
the expensive ones. Buddy. I think the most expensive one I have is 3D Tetris, which is like, I don't know where that's at now. It was pushing like the $100, like $80-$100 mark, but I don't know that anybody cares anymore. But has Virtual Boy gone up with the retro gaming bubble in COVID? Like, I feel like not, right? Like people still don't care.
Maybe like the Jack Bros.
Yeah.
Because that's like the one, but.
Right.
What is that game like? I guess I've never heard of it.
Konami game, right? And it's like.
No, it's like Atlas. So it's like
Atlas,
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yes.
But it's like a puzzle, like almost like platformer up top.
Yeah, you clear the maze and then you go through an exit hole and fall down to the next platform, but it's all like in a progressive 3D space, right?
It's like a bunch of catwalks.
Yeah.
That you're just falling through.
Right. They get Space Invaders in Japan.
Oh, man.
Was the Japanese Virtual Boy very similar to the US one? Look like it, color and everything?
Yeah, library was not much more. I think there's a few more. What have they got? 19? I was right. Yeah, man, I'm smart. So yeah, they had 19 total games, but it didn't last any longer over there. So
yeah.
I mean, for anyone who's gotten hands on with the hardware, one that works properly with both lenses, some of the games it does pull off a neat effect. But I guess I've never sat down in a Virtual Boy session and been like, yes, this was definitely, they were on to something here. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I love the PlayStation VR, but that's not the way I want to actually play games long term. So it is neat and is definitely arguably, I guess, Nintendo's biggest, most public failure, right? Like as far as like they actually put out the product. Because I guess you could argue whether the DD64DD like actually went to market. Like it was like mail order, right? Maybe the Satellaview was also pretty bad, but arguable. So I don't know. I got the sweet book to read now. So thanks, Jeremy Parrish, and special thanks to Chris Kohler. Apparently, I like both of those people.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a big book for just a small amount of games.
Yeah, it's a bit of forward on the system, and then I did a page or two. It looks like multiple pages in some of these. I think, honestly, I think it's just transcriptions of his Virtual Boy Works series. Like I think all these books are just like the dialogue behind the videos that he puts on YouTube for free. So if you're not into the book, Jeremy Parrish's Works series, they've got like NES Works, Game Boy Works, Virtual Boy Works. Those are all very informative, good. I will say Jeremy Parrish is kind of dry, but he's very good in the historical context of what he does and what he loves about gaming. So I recommend.
Plus, that's one that he can actually finish.
Yes.
Whereas I think the NES stuff, it was like
the NES Works, yeah.
He kind of dropped off that.
There's just so much garbage on there too, right? Yep. And now I got handprints all over it. See, I hate like nice shiny books because now it's all smudged up. This is
gotta wear gloves when you read.
It's gonna go on my backlog of like, I'm gonna read these one day books. I've got like 4 of them sitting on my nightstand right now. It's not a good thing. I got one that I was really excited about on like a music. I don't know who the author is anymore. He's like he was a music journalist at like the height of like the pop punk like rise, like late 90s, like early 2000s, and he like interviewed a bunch of bands, and it's like kind of all of that combined, and I have yet to touch it, but it's next to my bed. It's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this is a gaming podcast, not a reading podcast. So that's probably why.
We should be a reading podcast.
Yeah. Should we do book reports and stuff?
I mean, I probably wouldn't contribute a whole lot.
Well, you could read us like, you could translate amazing books from Spanish culture and transcribe them for Andy and I.
Yo soy
Diablo.
El Gato.
Yo soy El Gato. Diablo. Yeah, you know more Spanish than you thought. Man. That's good stuff.
Wabos.
Well, do you want to take us out here, Biff? Unless any final closing thoughts? Oh, also, for anyone listening, if it wasn't clear, Andy is the definitive winner of.
Whoa.
No, I'm taking it back. Your bonus point, you didn't sweep it. Changing it. Sorry.
This was rigged.
Yeah.
So sick of this. So do you want me to take you guys out in Spanish? What would you like? What language? Just pick a language. I'll go with it.
Oh, gosh. German.
Das.
Fußball.
Fußball. Wiener Schnitzel.
Bratwurst.
Verst. I don't know. All right. Thanks for putting up with us tonight. We're so glad that you're listening. You can send us emails, weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, not Instagram. And you can find all things Weekend Rental at weekendpodcast.com. As always, friends, be kind. Rewind.
Bananin.
Shakira Miyamoto.
Soap balls.